realized we were hopping on.
Should I do it again? Oh, just turn on your camera.
No, we're already on there. Yeah, I'm just go ahead and turn my camera on. What's up, guys? How you doing?
That is fucking perfect.
Let's
perfect.
go.
Yeah.
What's up, and welcome to the Los Wise Guys podcast. I'm your host, Eslam, aka Rock God the Son, accompanied by Dan Papa Son Killer and Dan Emperor Disco. How's it going, fellas?
Yay. Met
How's it going,
Gala
guys?
Day.
Yeah.
Honestly, I thought your suit was a filter, Dan. That shit really threw me off. I thought your suit was a filter, like a.
Oh yeah, this is just yeah. No, it's a lot. There's a lot going on here.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah.
He went all out. What
I know.
award did you win?
What's that?
What award did you win?
I didn't win anything. That's not what the Met Gala is. But all right.
Definitely winning best dressed today.
Yeah, I try, guys.
Definitely.
I like that.
Very tight.
Is that
Very
orange
tight.
or salmon?
It's red. It's sequence red. It's a full coat. It has tails, by the way.
Damn.
Yeah, so it has that. And you really can't see, but I got cat tacos and burritos all over the shirt.
Nice.
So yeah,
man.
Batman tie, by the way.
Is that
Not
a Gengar?
technically not Batman.
Is that a Gengar tassel?
It is a Batman tie, right?
So it's a Gengar necklace
Chain?
that doesn't fit on my neck. Chain, thank you. So I said I'm gonna put it on my ear and a top hat.
Nice.
Hey,
Nice.
It works. It works.
I just
It
realized
makes
I'm wearing
a
my
powerful
glasses.
statement.
The glasses was not part of it. I forgot I was wearing them. You know, I'll leave them on. Well, then again, I'm reflecting the camera, so up to you guys. Should I take them off or?
Yeah, take them off.
Okay. No. Yeah, because that was not part of it. Sorry about that.
Yeah.
So I had ordered something different and
Okay.
it didn't come in. So I had to, make do with what I got.
Yeah, man, I'll take it.
It's sexy.
And,
You look like a pimp or something.
I appreciate the tape.
Batman pimp.
Yeah, I know. But I just want to bring attention to two things, right? This Batman right here. Do you guys see the pose he's in?
Kind of, yeah, like he
like
hurt his
sleeping?
knee and he's trying to grab his knee.
He's sleeping on his side.
I like to call this the Eric pose.
Okay.
I could have moved his leg more than that, but
I feel that.
I see it now.
If you would have had enough time to get a little mini book, I would just nail it.
that would have been fantastic.
I know exactly what
That would have been through the roof.
And also the second thing, my bat signal over here.
Of course. Yeah.
And
Of course. Why is my camera so low?
it turns on.
It's a functioning bat signal on top of
You
it.
never
That's
know. You never
advanced.
know when we need. Yeah, you never know when we need Batman.
Yeah.
Call Batman to the gala.
Yeah. And then they got the Batman poster over here.
No.
Big boy.
Yeah.
I like the star on your face, by the way.
Oh, thanks. Yeah. I'm glad you noticed that.
Yeah, appreciate
All right.
that. Disco, what you got going on there?
For me, this year I got some Louis Vuitton Witch Doctor action going. And, I got a Gucci hood, the Murder Hood 1000.
Okay.
And then I got the double collar.
I don't know how
coat.
you're wearing that coat, but
I'm about to take it off in 2 seconds. This is just for the gala.
yeah, okay.
It is too hot.
I'm getting hot just looking at you.
Dude, if I flex hard enough, this jacket's gonna break.
I put this
Look at
mask
on my
on.
arms right now. Look at this.
Yeah, I know.
You should like Hulk Hogan that thing.
I kind of want to, but I was like, maybe I'll need this again at some point in the future.
If you do, you got to do it on camera.
I know. Content.
So I put this little get up on, and then I was talking to my girl, and I forgot. She asked me a question I had to think about for a second, and so I was staring at her, and then she got the shivers because I looked at the death stare while I was thinking. I forgot I had this costume on, so I was laughing.
I put this on, and then my wife walks in, and she just stops and stares at me, and I'm like, "It's for the podcast."
Yeah.
And
You need to show her an image of this, what's on screen.
Well, I told her to go on Twitch and check it out. So
Perfect.
yeah. So,
Yeah.
But if anything, I'll show her the playback later.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, welcome to the Los Wise Guys podcast, everybody. Today we will be reviewing Fallout from Amazon.
Got dressed up.
Got your Yeah, Cisco mentioned Gala, so I think last year I saw pictures of Gala. This was so ridiculous and stupid.
Oh God.
Far away.
No, it's like, damn, we should just do some ridiculous shit.
All right, I gotta jump in. I can't tell if it's my issue or if it's Eslam's issue.
No, yeah, I think it's him. He sounds like really far away.
Okay,
It
yeah,
got
because
really low.
your voice kept
Oh.
fading away and then it was just gone.
How about now?
That's a lot better.
There
Yes.
we go.
Okay. So sorry, like I was saying, the Met Gala happened last year. I thought it was ridiculous what they were wearing.
Mhm.
And I go to Dan, I was like, hey, maybe we should do some stupid shit
Exactly.
for an episode one time during like the Met Gala event. And yeah, so here we
Yeah.
are.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And
I
we're
think we
just,
did good.
I think we did good.
We did pretty good. I think
Yeah.
we all look. We represent our personalities.
I don't represent my personality in any way.
Yeah, no.
That's how people. That's how people think you are until they
Okay.
actually meet you.
Yeah. I'll give you that. But yeah, no. So if anybody who's just listening to the audio version of this, you want to go to the YouTube to check it
Yeah,
out. Trust me.
definitely.
Or twitch.tv/LowSpiceGuys.
I wonder if Rudy or anybody's gonna come on and see our ridiculousness. That would be hilarious.
What I want is for that to happen when we're just having a serious, like we're talking about, we're talking about our commentary on Fallout, not acknowledging our outfits, just having a conversation. They're just like, what the fuck is happening? Like that's the goal.
Real, that's gonna be great.
Henry's gonna be like, birthday shout out, WTF? What?
All right, so let's get into it. Fallout, Amazon's new show, an adaptation from the video game Fallout 76 or one of the other many titles.
Just Fallout.
Just Fallout. Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm guessing Fallout 76 surrounds Vault 76.
Yeah. So every Fallout is it's all a shared world, including the show. But it's Vault 76 represents. I'm sorry, Fallout 76 represents Vault 76.
Okay.
Like Fallout 4, I think is Vault 111. The show is 33, 32, 31. So it's like every game has its own vault.
Okay. I want. It's gonna be interesting to see what they do with it in the future. They definitely have a whole world to explore. But my initial thoughts on this show was I went into it was like not really feeling it, but as the show went on, I was like, this is not too bad. I kind of liked it. I like the concept of the world post-apocalyptic and apocalyptic, and then obviously the evil corporations and shit. And I was just like, God damn! But it was very interesting to watch. I did enjoy what I did see, and let's see how they take it. Are they just gonna continue the story for another season, and if it's successful again, will they do a whole different Vault series of stories, or are they just gonna do spin-offs and keep this one and do a spin-off or whatever? So it's gonna be interesting to see what they do. Disco, what you got? What's your initial thoughts?
For me, I just preface, I have no experience with the games. I've never
Me
played
either.
any of them. Yeah. Not even. I all I know is they use bottle caps or something. That's the only thing.
The currency, yeah.
Yeah. So so I went in kind of pretty blind, and overall, I was indifferent at first, and then like kind of sort of like Eslam, I kind of fell for the show. I liked the atmosphere they created, that apocalypse atmosphere. I always love that end of the world type thing. And then another thing that drew me in, I guess, is the character that they created. But I don't want to go too into detail. But I just like how she was new and then got dropped into this hellhole butthole of a world, and how all her culture is just ass backwards in this top world type of thing. So I kind of like what they did with that without giving away too much background. I like the characters they chose, the world they're in, and some things were okay, some things were better than others, but overall I like the direction they're going. So like Aslam said, let's see a season 2 if they can keep the ball rolling, because I don't know, I feel like it can easily kind of make it too cheesy or just lose the ball.
Yeah. Yeah, so yeah, I just want to say well, first off, yeah, Choppa Papa. Absolutely. But yeah, no, it's Fallout. So you guys really never mess with the games and stuff. I played Fallout 3, I played Fallout New Vegas, I played Fallout 4, and I knew Fallout 76 was a train wreck the moment they debuted it at that E3 that year. Apparently it's gotten a lot better. So there's that. But yeah, so I went into this Fallout show just looking like, you know what? Every time I play a Fallout game, I really want it to be good. I really want it to be like a spectacular thing. I'm gonna go in there and it's I always fall off. It's like it's fun, but then it's not quite there. I go into the show and it's the exact same thing. Like literally, it's just like, yep, no, it's a great adaptation, 100%. I hope I was like, hey, let's see if we can get it. I went in there episode 1. I was like, all right, it's gonna be a ride. Let's get it. Let's get it through it. And then there you go. Just I felt that the entire way through, the entire time, every single episode. It's just like I wouldn't watch this if it wasn't for the podcast. Yeah, and not. I mean, that's 9 shows out of 10. Let's be real.
Yeah.
Like most of the shows I watch are like I wouldn't do this if it wasn't for the podcast. But it had its moments. It was all right. Fallout. It's gonna fall out. I will say the most accurate adaptation from video game to like show or movie ever, and that includes Last of Us. Like this is the most accurate I think I've ever seen.
Nice.
Yeah, down to the stim packs. Like somebody gets shot. Oh, just inject them with the stim pack and it magically cures it. Okay, yep, that's just exactly how it works in the game. We're good there. There's like a little hacking mechanic in the game that the brother does at one point. It's literally 1-for-1 how you do it. I was like, wow, they really went out of their way to make this look exactly like the game. So I think that was really impressive. There was a lot of attention to detail.
Nice.
And Todd Howard, who's the head.
Is this story? Sorry to cut you off, but is this story in the show one part from one of the games?
Every game is a different story. So the show has its own story, its own vaults. But it's in a shared world. No spoilers, just yet. But there's I'll get to it when we get to it. But there's a lot that's talking about like, oh shit, this is reference to this game or this world or this vault that's going on in there. Now I've never finished a full Fallout game. I always fall off. So there's a lot there that I don't know about. I watched the show, I knew a little bit, and I watched a couple other podcasts talk about stuff like that just so hey, I know what to talk about on here, just to kind of just inform you guys. But yeah, there was definitely some stuff that was dropped that was like, oh shit, okay, that's in reference to this. But it is what it is. Yeah.
Nice. Okay, so let's get into the spoilers now. The way the show started was really funny. Is like all happy and delightful inside the vault, and her commentary. It's like, I'm about to get married. I can't wait. It's okay to fool with your cousin for a while, but it's time to do the real thing. And it's just like that shit was so funny to me. Um, but the overall story, which seems to be like a running theme in a lot of shows, and is like evil corporations doing it for the profit. And in this show was no different. Corporations creating monopolies started almost kind of like a cold war, but then at the end you see that they dropped the nuclear bombs themselves, or they are the ones who caused it to happen, just so they can have this monopoly on vaults and kind of rebuild in America in their own image, which is very interesting. It reminds me of a show. This is going to be happening throughout the podcast. It reminds me of a show from like the 2000s, and it had a similar vibe where like corporations ended up owning America, and you paid your debt by going into like this servitude to them and doing work and shit. So it was just very interesting. And then like the contrast between like the post-apocalyptic and like this technology that they had was very interesting, like the cold fusion reactors, like the suits, and like they had all this technology, but they were still like in the post-apocalypse. So it was kind of weird, but very interesting as well. The ghouls were very fun. for me. I like the ghouls. It took me a minute to realize what was happening with them, but yeah, it's pretty interesting.
Yeah. Yeah, no,
Yeah.
it's cool. I mean, it's there was like you said with the vault, it's cool because like every game, I maybe with the exception of New Vegas, if I remember correctly, but you pretty much start off in a vault, and it's always a different vault, and there's a different experience. So it's
Yeah.
like there's one where it's just like, hey, you grew up in a vault. This is your life. So everything's going on. Then some shit goes down in the vault one day. Everybody's getting murdered. You got to go out and figure stuff out.
Yeah.
There's that. There's another one where it's just like you're this dude in a vault, and one day you wake up and you're not just like in a living in a vault. You were kind of like in some type of like chamber thing, like sleeping and trying to like, kind of like sleep it out like astronauts do, like and shit. So something like that. The next thing you know, somebody wakes you up and they're just like, "Hey, I'm gonna kidnap your son." Then you're like, "What the fuck's going on?" Then you have to go out and find your son. That's like another game. So it's like the vault life is always different per game, and I mean we're already kind of in spoiler territory. So like every vault is an experiment, and it's always a different experiment per vault.
They said that in the show, yeah.
They did, yeah. So that's the thing. So it's like, okay, it's cool. So when they introduced this vault, I was like, okay, what's going on? I want to know what's happening. So it's just like I'm already going into it. That first time I've ever seen vaults like share space like that, where Vault 31, 32, and 33. I was like, that's interesting. I like that concept. And then it's like 31 rules it all, and they come from the corporate, whatever. That was cool. And then when they showed off Vault 4, I thought Vault 4 was awesome. I love that. I was like, okay, that was
Science Vault.
Yeah, that was a great one. But it's funny, man. Even in the game, they have like there's this one vault. I think it's Vault 68, where it's like it's a bunch of guys. Like it's like let's say 99 men and one woman, and it's just like, okay, how's this gonna work out? And then the way that one works, it's like it doesn't work how you think it would. It's just like they're all just like, yeah, we're just gonna worship her, and she's gonna just run the vault. She's the queen of everything, and that's just how that vault works. And then there's Vault 69, which is the opposite, where it's just like 99 women and one guy. I'm like, okay, how's this gonna work out? And then in the end, they're just like the women decided it's like, yeah, we don't need this guy. We're just gonna let him do our thing. We're gonna survive on our own. So it's like every game,
kill him or kick him out.
I think they just kind of just leave him. Whatever, we'll handle everything. Like he's just in the way. Like, but so it's like every vault has its own thing. So I like that they kind of explored like if they do continue the show, which I think they already announced that they will. Yeah. I'm looking forward to just seeing other vaults. I always found that like one of the more interesting things. It's like, hey, let's see what experiment we got going on. What's happening?
Yeah. I think they might continue this story the way they left it off.
With, the definitely.
Brotherhood and stuff like that. So
yeah. Brotherhood of Steel is always fun to see too. So it was glad, that they were in there.
Yeah. So I guess for me, I like the cast that they chose. Starting with Walton Goggins. I've seen him in Sons of Anarchy, Justified.
He's a great actor.
He's in a lot of stuff, so I really like him. And it took me a second to realize Hateful Eight. I was trying to remember that one too.
Yeah.
I was gonna say Grateful Fate. I don't know why. My brain was almost there.
Very different.
Almost there, but not quite at all.
You're wrong.
But what was I saying? Oh yeah, I almost didn't realize that the ghoul was the cowboy from the beginning. It took me a second to be like, oh snap, that's him. But he's one of the more interesting characters I thought in the show. I would like to see maybe a spinoff with him to see what he's been up to for the last 100 years. His progression into the ghoulhood or whatever that may be. I don't really know.
Well, I guess he had to become a ghoul pretty early if he survived for 200 years.
Yeah. I mean, and the initial radiation probably got him from the jump. But I'm just curious to see like what he's been up to for that 100 years. His nose is big as heck. I just smacked it twice.
I know. Last one was hard too.
I also like Ella Purnell, Lucy, the main character.
Mm-hmm.
She just has something about her that quirky, fun, innocent character. I enjoyed that about her.
Perfect Vault Dweller. Vault Dweller. Jesus.
But she brought so much life into that character, and she carried that show. And I just love seeing her innocent mentality and carrying all her Vault culture into the outside world, and just totally being like aghast, like shocked at what life really is and how dirty and fucked up the world really is.
Yeah.
And how what was it? She was like, "You're the," when she first met the Maximus. She was like, "You're the only person that hasn't tried to kill me yet," or something like something like that. You know, I love that innocence about her, and how at the end of the show, you see her like kind of hardened. You know, it's calloused her.
Yeah,
She's still innocent, but at the same time, like she's done some stuff to get there. Like, you know, at that end part, and phenomenal actors. And Aaron Clifton was okay.
I'm very curious to see if his wife is still alive and daughter.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would assume.
Speaking of still alive, I wonder how the lady survived that 100 years. She doesn't look ghoulish.
Yeah.
She might have been. So I'm curious how that happened.
She might have been like cryo sleep or something.
There's a couple things which that has been introduced in Fallout in the past.
Yeah.
Also, there's a couple other things that are in that they didn't touch on in the show that happened in the game. So, like, maybe she's a ghoul. That's another theory, and we just don't know it. Another possibility is maybe she's a synth. Synths are synthetics. They're like basically robot people that exist in the world. So it's possible that she's one of them, and maybe just her conscience has been transported into the Sith, something along those lines. That and super mutants. The fact that there weren't super mutants in the show, or oh man, what's the other thing? There's like this big monster creature that I was sure. I think it's called the Death Claw. I was positive it was going to show up in the show. It's like if you're playing Fallout and a Death Claw shows up, you just stop everything. You're like, oh fuck, all right. What are we gonna do? And it just pops up like in random spots. So I thought that was going to show up at some point.
They had that mutant axolotl, and
which was, I mean, I guess it was all right. But I was like, at this point, I was like, I want to see a Death Claw.
And then the bear, but Synth is cool, but she did die at the end though. So
did she?
Yeah, she kind of died at the end.
I'm be real, I wasn't paying attention. Yeah, but I mean, I don't think synths. Like, I'm pretty sure a synth can die.
Oh,
like,
okay.
Yeah.
And I guess another part that I liked is the robot. I was kind of torn with the robot. I liked the robot because it reminded me of StarCraft, like the Terran, like robot humans.
Are you talking about the one with like the arms?
Maximus, the one.
So yeah,
Aaron kind of stole.
Yeah.
The bodysuit,
armor.
I don't know.
I thought you were talking about the ball Codsworth. It was the actor's voice.
No, the armor suit, I guess, to be more accurate. I like the idea of that. It reminded me of StarCraft Terran, like his outfits in a little bit, but it was also kind of cheesy at the same time, I felt. And then they just kind of ditched it. So it was cool to see, but it was, I think, stupid to see in action, in my opinion.
I fucking hated using those in the game. Like, you could get them in there. It's just like if the power source like runs out, I'm like, man, this is a pain. Fuck this thing. Like, I would just use it just to carry shit. Like, I'm gonna keep my shit in there. I don't want to carry it. That I have like extra encumbrance or whatever.
Yeah. So yeah. I mean, it'd be cool to see cooler versions of those with cooler action like fighting sequences.
Yeah.
What?
The comment.
Rudy.
What the actual fuck is happening?
I just saw that.
It just came in.
Gotta watch the episode. Gotta watch the episode from the beginning, Rudy.
Yeah.
You'll find out.
You'll get there.
Yep. This is our Fallout episode.
Love how you say that. It's the Fallout episode. That explains it.
I mean, he's not wrong. We are reviewing Fallout.
To confuse him even more.
Not for nothing. If I saw 3 people in Fallout dressed like this, wouldn't question it.
Yeah, that's very true.
I wouldn't question it.
It's very true.
They're definitely best friends. I guess Dan mentioned this too, that there's a bunch of different vaults. And so I really like the idea of the vaults and the clashing of cultures. So I would like to see more vaults maybe in the next season. Like maybe they find some or just maybe more vault dwellers from other vaults or something. So yeah. And if it goes up to 76 at least, they could do infinite.
As far as we know, it goes up to 111.
111. So there's like a lot of ideas and stuff they can do with that too. That you could literally any vault could be any crazy test subject. You
Yeah.
get a vault full of ghouls or a vault full of animals. I don't
Yeah,
know,
I mean,
but it'd be
infinite
cool to.
possibilities.
It's
Yeah,
an infinite possible, yeah. So it'd be. I'm really curious to see what they do with it, with that kind of idea, that concept, because it's this first season was really well done, and I really like it. Sucked me in towards the end, and they had that nice twist where you find out the father isn't who he's supposed to be. So
Yeah,
this whole
I kind of
huge
felt
trip
that.
that she made is pretty much, I wouldn't say in vain, but like almost not for the right, not for the reason she thought. She thought she was gonna save her dad and go back to normal life, but she ended up finding out who he really was, and he was not, the kind-hearted mayor of 33 or whatever the heck
Yeah.
yeah,
she thought he was. He was
yeah.
actually like one of the people that started the whole thing, and I thought that was a pretty cool twist. So the show had a lot of things going for it. The cast, the writing, even the concept in general is really well executed, while also leaving opportunity for so much more. And so, yeah, they did a lot of things well in this.
So in my thought process while I was watching the show, I thought the um yeah.
Rudy's quoting the show. You can make my cock explode now. Yeah, that was kind of weird the way they they wrote about sex.
With the father, I initially thought that, oh, he knew this lady that took him, and that he just wanted to escape the vault and just not live that life anymore. So he kind of orchestrated that whole thing with her, and she took him. So I was kind of right because she knew who he was, but he didn't want to escape the vault. He just, she just needed his passcode for the cold fusion activation. So it was a pretty interesting thing. Yeah, Disco, that's you can hear that really loud. So the technology, I don't know. It's always weird when you have that uh, juxta.
Juxtaposition.
Yeah, thank you. Juxtaposition of like 60s vibes or 50s vibes, and then you got like this futuristic technology, but they still have like black and white TV. Like it's always been super weird to me. But I guess it kind of works here because like they made up all this technology for the vaults and stuff, but they still had like 50 style clothes, cars.
Yeah,
They didn't
music.
have, yeah. So it's just like a very weird like
Yeah,
alternate.
it's like that weird alternate future where they didn't progress out of this era. It's kind of like I always it's funny because like it's weird, and then I'd never like the opposite either, where you look at something like Blade Runner.
Yeah.
Blade Runner, it's like, for example, it's just like, I don't know, like 2000.
I kind of understand Blade Runner more because it's a dystopian future. So even though you have the crazy technology, it's just like that technology brings up more corruption and destruction, and so everything's a shit.
Yeah. Well, my thing is the whole like, hey, like when they came out with Blade Runner, it was like 1980s, and their time period was what, like, I think they thought that was like 2015.
Yeah,
So it's like, do they really think that from 1980 to 2015 that's going to happen?
yeah,
Like
yeah,
realistically, like think about it, math wise, like no, that's the world's not going to fucking do that. But it's that still thing, or so like I feel like it's just, for me at least, it's like just as weird, or it's just like I could see this being a thing where kind of the world kind of stood still for a minute and then we progressed. You know?
I mean, speaking about that, I just saw this like comedian's joke on like YouTube Shorts, and he asked the audience, he's like, "What do you guys think evolves faster, culture or technology?" And
I'm
then
sorry, say it one more time. Sorry, the
Hey,
audio's messing up again.
you're
sorry,
kind of getting low, like not as low as before, but you kind of faded it a little. Just yeah.
yeah. So like I was saying, I saw this comedian's joke on like YouTube Shorts, and he asked the audience, uh, "What do you guys think evolves faster, culture or technology?" And like, so what do you guys think? Because the audience answers like they go technology, right? And he
I don't
goes
know.
like,
No.
well, he goes like, well, if you ask me in like the '90s what we would have first, like gay marriage or flying cars, I would have definitely said flying cars. But that's not what we got. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? So it's just like, so his point was like culture moves faster than technology. So which is interesting, but here it's kind of like the opposite, where technology moved faster than culture. So they were still stuck in the 50s, but their technology was progressing pretty quickly.
Yeah.
Which it's an interesting concept.
Yeah. I mean, at least within that, because if you notice, a lot of like the tech was somehow related to vault tech.
Yes, it
Like that
was.
was like your like thing. Pretty much other than that, everything else was like old school. So
It's
it's almost like they're
crazy.
withholding the
Yeah.
technology to the people, you
It's
know?
crazy to think that they had cold fusion, because I'm assuming they had the cold fusion before the bombing because they
Oh yeah.
had it stockpiled or whatever. It's crazy to think you have that capability, but then their plan is like, hold up, let's just bomb everybody first instead of
Yeah.
actually just using their technology for good and giving power to the world. They're like, no, how about we nuke everybody first?
No, because none of it is profitable, and that's unfortunately that's what happens in our world. Everything is based on profit. So if it's not
Yep.
profitable to the company, it's they're not gonna do it. So
Yeah.
like one thing I remember from a Superman movie, uh, Lex Luthor's assistant, comes in and she's like, "Hey, LexCorp just cured cancer." He's like, "Well, there's no profit in that. Just break it up into a 10-year treatment." And I was just like, "Damn, that's wild." So
Yeah.
I wouldn't be
I
surprised if
remember that.
something like
I
that
can't remember what
exists.
movie, but yeah.
Yeah, it stuck with me. Like it really did stick with me pretty strongly. But it's just like it's just something I believe that they have certain things that they're definitely holding back on us with. So yeah,
What is it? Rudy said technology influences culture, TV, radio, computer, etc. Technology makes culture growth rapidly increase. Trends today rapidly affect the masses based on how many people can see it and implement it. I mean, I guess I agree. Culture, I feel like culture dictates the technology because technology's made for what uses you need.
yeah, I think yeah, they make the technology based on what people are doing and how the culture is moving. So yeah,
I
Yeah.
mean, it's funny. Like one thing I've heard about, which I guess is true. I've never actually done the research, but it's anytime a new technology's come about, it's always just like, all right, how quickly can the porn industry adapt it to see how successful it is? Or it's like whether it's like internet or watching videos or VR or like stuff like that. It's just like,
yeah.
once porn industry gets in on, it's like, okay, this might be something,
That's hilarious.
which is crazy. But it's like, it kind of makes sense. Like when you look at it, like in terms of like tech and stuff, like a lot of it is just like, yeah, I guess so.
Yeah, very true. Somehow porn gets integrated to like almost everything.
Yeah.
Just apps, your phone, access.
Because everything's better with sex.
Oh
Yeah,
man.
apparently they thought so too in Vault 33, 32, and 31. I mean, they were trading, mixing people so they weren't inbreeding. Uh, but yeah, that's just it's wild to me, the the culture they were building. It was very. She kept saying the golden rule. You just saw Rudy. You just saw the Batman on my head. Did you see the bat signal?
There
Rudy
was
definitely
another
needs to
there was another Batman up there, but he left to fight crime.
Yeah.
definitely check the beginning of the episode so you can see a little
Seriously.
rundown on our outfits.
Yeah. And explain why this is happening.
Yeah.
Yep.
Um,
Oh man. But yeah, no, this show, it's like I said, it's to me it's true Fallout, where it's just like, all right, it's interesting enough, but not interesting for me to keep, stick around.
yeah. I know. I sometimes even if a show is a little bad,
Yeah.
if the concept is interesting enough, it'll keep my attention.
So I ain't got time for that.
And so things like this and I mean, Altered Carbon wasn't a bad show by any means, but I loved the concept of that show. It was one of the best shows and concepts I've ever seen. And there's other
They need to
shows
bring that back.
yeah, that and
Was that the
Sense,
one that got canceled and everyone was mad about?
yeah, that
I feel like there's a couple of those.
yeah, Sense Eight also was like an amazing concept.
Sense8, yeah. It's just like just when the show gets good, they're like, nope, canceled.
Sorry, I'm just gonna.
Why would I have this jacket lying around?
I'll give you guys.
I'm gonna read Rudy's. Rudy said in the chat, he's interacting with us. He said, "I'm over here thinking Dan just has the jacket lying around. I can see Disco having that mask, and then I get to S, and I'm like, that's fucking Batman. Laugh my ass off."
Exactly. Oh, Rudy, just for you. So I got cat tacos and burritos all over this thing. So
That's
just
what I'm talking about. I have a cat and I love tacos and burritos. So there you go.
there you go, representing Eslam.
Boom, boom, yeah, yeah.
Oh man, I love this episode.
You ready to wrap up Fallout?
I love this silliness. Yeah, we can wrap up Fallout. You guys have?
I mean, I think we're kind of done with it. Anybody? Yeah.
Yeah, I honestly don't have much to say about the show. It's kind of just like it happened, you know.
Yeah.
Like it's one of those things where what's up?
Would you be interested in a second season?
It's I'm gonna tell you guys what I always tell you guys. If you guys want to talk about it for the podcast, I will do it.
Okay.
Under those circumstances,
So
if it's just like, yeah, we're not going to talk about it, it's like, no, I'm not watching season 2.
Disco, what do you think?
Yeah, see, I'll watch a season 2. But yeah, like Rudy kind of said with the time to make my cock explode, the writing was kind of a little fishy, spotty here and there. But overall, like the dialogue, maybe not the writing, but the dialogue was a little spotty here and there.
That makes sense in a post-apocalyptic world. Who's teaching them English? It's like it's all handed down via verbal knowledge, and like they just don't have the articulation anymore. You know, we go to school, we learn about everything. Like he didn't even know what sex was. He thought his dick was gonna explode when he ejaculated after having sex. So he's like, no, I can't do that. And you know what I mean? So it makes a little sense. It is cheesy, but it does make sense in the setting.
I'm thinking about it. There's a few things I like. Like one of my favorite characters was the guy that she met that had that house where he was trying to get water out of his water pump and kept putting sand in it.
Yeah.
That guy was interesting. Where he's just like, do you want to stay here and have a family with me? I was like, won't have to put up with me for much longer. I think I'm dying.
That guy was hilarious.
I thought that was funny.
The doctor was so funny.
When they introduced the doctor, that was my favorite part. It was just like he's beating the shit. I was like, I'm sorry, man. He just keeps fucking my chickens.
Henry made it. Happy birthday, Henry.
Henry. Happy birthday, Henry.
Infernal Killer Fox. Yay, yay. We're just wrapping up Fallout. Thanks for tuning in, brother.
Yes. All right, so final thoughts.
It is what it is, you know.
Man, okay.
Yeah, it's just like it's a show. I tend to not like those. There you go.
Very true. Disco.
For me, it was a pleasant surprise. I didn't know what to expect, but it turned out to be a nice show. I haven't seen, I feel like there hasn't been that many good shows other than like Shogun. I feel like I've been looking for a nice hypothetical fantasy sci-fi type show, and this kind of hit the spot for me. So I am looking forward to it. Is it going to be like a legendary show? Probably not, but it's a good show to pass the time. I think that's kind of where it stands for me. It's not bad at all by any means, but also just I'm probably going to forget it in a year.
Yeah,
like this show I watched while I was doing work, so that's what kind of show it was for me.
See, that's the problem. I want a show that makes me stop what I'm doing.
Yeah. So I have a recommendation for a show for you guys.
I gotta talk to you about your last recommendation, sir. But okay, go ahead.
Wait, what was my?
That's how I felt. That's how I felt about Three Body Problem. I had to really focus on that one. That was a fun one.
Is that the one that I recommended, then?
No.
Okay. Was it the anime?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh god. I'm nervous now. I'm nervous. Fuck. but yeah, so the show I want to recommend is on Netflix. It's called Ripley, or yeah, Ripley. And I don't know if you guys saw the movie with Matt Damon and Jude Law. It's based on a book also, but the show is just like the art direction, the cinematography, and the writing for the show are all top level. I've seen some of the most amazing cinematographic shots. If I said that right, I probably didn't.
Cinematographic.
The word is
Cine-
it's you fucked me up. Hang on.
Cinematography.
well, yeah.
Cinematic.
Oh,
Cinematic.
cinematic. It's not.
Yeah. I was like, it's so simple, and you fucked up so bad. I forgot what the word was. I was like, it's not that. You're throwing extra syllables in there.
That's what I like to do, bro.
Like, god damn, that got me.
Some of the most beautiful cinematic shots. Some of the most beautiful cinematic shots, and it's all in black and white. So it was just like it's very nice. It felt like watching one of the movies from Mr. Ripple's movie class. So it was really nice. But yeah, I recommend that show. Go check it out, Ripley on Netflix. All right, give it to me, Dan. What happened?
I didn't like it that much.
Oh, okay.
No.
All right. Oh well.
It's
How
fine.
much did you
Hey,
watch?
I saw the first episode.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah. I didn't
What anime
honestly
was it?
the Shangri-La thing.
Shangri-La.
Oh, you did mention. Okay, I remember that.
Yeah.
And then
I'm
he
I'm
posted it right in the chat immediately.
yeah. I was just like, I'm legit just at that point where it's just like if I'm watching anime,
Disco.
I don't want to see anything that's
Disco. It's really loud, bro.
yeah. I don't want to see anything that's just like in any way comical at this point. It's like I don't want any fun in my anime.
I don't want any. I thought you were gonna say I don't want any fun in my life.
So I don't know. It's like I'm watching him like it is what it is. And then when he busts out like the mask thing he's wearing, it's like I'm not watching a show where he's wearing that the whole time. I just won't do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jesus, Disco, please.
Disco,
All right.
that's really loud, dude. It's the
Disco.
opposite of Eslam's bike.
Yeah. The knife, bro. The knife clicking.
I'll put it down.
But yeah, no, I don't know. I enjoyed Shangri-La, but check out Ripley. Give it a shot. It's
No.
it is slow. I'm gonna tell you right now. It's slow.
No.
It's just like I don't know. It's just the shots, the dialogue. It's like all very interesting. The facial expressions that the actors give, like even the facial expressions that like the extras give in the show.
Yeah.
It was all so well done. So
Well, have you guys seen the best show out there right now? I mentioned it already once. X-Men '97.
no, not
Actually,
yet.
yeah, I did catch up on that this past weekend or something.
It's
That
so
show
good.
is actually super
It's
kick-ass.
so
I
fucking good.
enjoyed it. I've been to like 7 or 8 episodes straight, and I was
That's what I'm
like,
saying. It's like I can't think of a
this is
show
what
that's
it's
better
about.
than this right now.
This is what I'm looking for. Quality entertainment.
Yeah,
It's
it's so good.
nostalgic. The storyline is actually really well written, and highly recommend that one.
I told you
really
last
looking
time,
forward to
Eslam.
it.
I just need to say one word, and that word was Magneto.
Yeah, I know.
Watch the damn show.
It's on my
Mhm.
list, bro. I'll get there. I gotta. But, all right. Is final thoughts? We already did final thoughts.
We
Right?
just finished our final
Okay.
thoughts.
All right. Thank you for listening to Los Wise Guys podcast. If you like what you hear, follow us on social media. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share, rate, and review. Thank you for checking us out. Have a great week.